Hello friends, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about Route 53. This is a very interesting topic, so let's get started. So what is Route 53? Route 53 is a highly available and scalable cloud domain name system service provided by AWS. So in simple terms, whenever you go to your browser and you type facebook.com, behind the scenes your browser connects to the IP address of the server where your Facebook application is deployed. So how does it happen? So suppose I'm the end user and I go to my web browser, and from my web browser I make a request to the website, say for example google.com. So that request is being transferred to the DNS resolver. So DNS resolver is managed by internet service provider to accept the DNS name and give the corresponding IP address of it. So basically if I type google.com, the browser will send to DNS and DNS resolver will give me the IP address of the server where Google is running. But it's not that simple. So DNS resolver will send this request to the DNS root name server. So DNS root name server will give me the address of the server of domain.com. So say for example, if I'm using google.net, then it will give me the address of .net top level domain server. If I'm using .org, it will give me the top level domain server of .org. In our case, we're using .com. So this top level domain server of .com will give me the Route 53 name servers. So DNS resolver, after getting the Route 53 name servers, it will pick one of the name server from that and it will connect to the Amazon Route 53 name server. Now this guy gets the name okay google.com. It will check into its records, and from its records it will say okay google.com is mapped to this particular IP address, and it will send the corresponding IP address which is mapped to the URL, and it will send back to the DNS resolver. So what DNS resolver will do, it will send this IP address back to the browser, and browser will hit the IP address and the server will send back the web pages back to the browser. So this is how internally it works. Now let's go back to the AWS console and see this lab session. So friends, this is the dashboard of Route 53. So let's click on Route 53 and select the domain registration. So now first thing we're going to do is we are going to register our domain. So click on register domain and type vian.com. So if you want to buy a domain called vian.com, there's a certain charge associated with it. So .com comes with $12, .net has its own price, .org has its own price. So once you've finalized your name, click on check. This will basically tell you whether the domain name exists. So vian.com does not exist, so AWS is giving me some options. Why don't you try myvian or dvian or via4n, something like that. Or if I give a different name like vian tube and check. So now I think I have this domain name available. So add to cart and come down, click on continue. So that's a certain charge associated with it. So if you're willing to pay $12 for your domain name, go ahead. But for our demo, we won't be using Route 53 to create a domain. There are a lot of free service providers in market, like GoDaddy and others. So we will use something called Freenom. You can also try it yourself. So Freenom allows you to create a domain and use it for 1 year without any charge. After 1 year, you will be charged a certain amount. So let me show you how to create a domain in Freenom. Go to Freenom, click enter. Type the domain which you want. So let me try Vian and check availability. So I can buy vian.tk, .ml, .ga. So whatever you want, you can click it. But if you want to use .com domain, I think .com is not free. These famous domains like .com, .net comes with a price. But for demo sake, you can create a domain in .tk. So click on get it now and click checkout. And And here in periods you can choose the duration. Either you can choose it to use for 1 month or 12 months. After 12 months you'll be charged $9. So let me select 12 months, click on continue, and then I can click this complete order button and buy this domain name. But I won't be doing this because I have already purchased a domain name, so we will be using that for our today's lab session. So let me go to service, click on my domain. So I have something called vian-codetube.tk, and we will be using this domain for our lab. So now let me go to Route 53. Since we are not going to use our domain registration module, let's go back. Here, click on hosted zones and click on create hosted zone. Now give the name which you have selected. What was that name? svian-codetube.tk, and here you can choose type public hosted zone. If I choose public, then this domain is available to the internet, or if I want to keep it private, I can host it in my private Amazon VPC. So let me select public hosted zone and click on create. Now I have to create some record sets. Before that, these are the name servers which your DNS resolver will be contacting. So we just saw the architectural diagram where the DNS resolver will get the name servers from the top level domain, and it will try to connect to one of these name servers to get the IP address. So these name servers are being displayed here. Now let me create a new record set. I can choose to give a name or I can choose it blank, and type I will give IP4. So you need to understand the basic difference between a name and c name here. A name is an IP address. If I want to register my IP address to this domain name, I will use type A. Or if I want to register a particular canonical name, say for example, I have hosted my website in a GitHub pages, and if I want to give the name of the GitHub pages or a load balancer, then I can choose cname here. So since in our example we'll be using an IP address, let me select type A. I will use 10 seconds, and here in value I need to give a particular IP address. Before that, let us configure this domain name. So let me click on this. Let me click on manage domain and click on managing tools and click on name servers. So here there are some name servers listed. Let me give the name servers of this particular Route 53 hosted zone. So let me copy and keep pasting this one by one. This is the second one. We have a third one here. And now we have the last one. Okay, and click on change name servers. So now our configuration is done. Let us verify name servers, and these are the name servers which we configured. Good. Now let's go back to the Route 53, and here let us click on create record set, type IP address, TTL 10 seconds, and the value I need to give an IP address. So do I have an IP address? So let me go to my EC2 page, and I have created 3 EC2 instance which is running where I have hosted a web server running in this EC2 instance. So if I try to copy the IP address of one of these EC2 instance, and if I go to a web browser, so it shows USA1. Similarly, if I try to copy this, this should show me USA2. Similarly, the third IP address I'm hosting where there's an index.html which shows USA3. So let me copy one of the IP address. So let me copy this and go back to my Route 53 and paste it here. Alright, so routing policy as of now, let it be simple and click on create. So now when I directly hit this IP address in my browser, it shows welcome to USA1. Now let me try to copy the domain name and try to access using this domain name in the browser. So that should also show me the same index.html called welcome to USA1. So let us try that. Try clicking on refresh button a couple of more times. As you can see, it is now taking us to the IP address of the server which we have attached to this domain name. Fantastic. So guys, in today's video we have seen what is Route 53, how to create hosted zones and how to create records in hosted zones. We have also attached an IP address to our Route 53 and we've seen how it all works together. In our next video, we will see in detail how these routing policies work. We will create a separate video in weighted latency and failover routing policies. Until now, goodbye. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.